All right, guys, this is your girl, Lawanda will be Lawanda here. Listen, I am watching with you as the trial results are rolling in on the Sean P. Diddy Combs trial that seemingly has been going on forever. Listen, many of you, just like me, was tied to this trial when it first began, but by the time it got to day number 9 and all of the testimonies just seemed like they were all the same, we realized that Sean Diddy Combs was a monster. We knew that he had some proclivities that we would not necessarily engage in ourselves. But at the end of the day, I think many of us were left questioning rather what he had done was criminal or if he was just nasty. Well, baby, the jury done spoke. Look at this. Look at this. Out of the 5 charges that P. Diddy was facing, there were 2 on there that carried life sentences. But out of the 5 charges that P. Diddy was accused of, he is only found guilty on 2. Now, I don't want to say that only as if it's insignificant because they do still carry 2 to 10 years each count. But at the end of the day, those life sentences are off the table. And P. Diddy has enough money to go ahead and appeal those guilty verdicts until Jesus comes back. So here's what I want to say to you. As a survivor advocate, I want you to know that many times exposure and accountability is better than any verdict that a jury can return. Why? Because what is done in the dark will always come to the light. I understand that in my own case, me out here talking about what the predator of my story did to me writing books and writing journals and me coming live and me sharing all of the nasty things that this individual did to me when I was a 13-year-old child is what is really causing there to be a lot of rift, anger, frustration, and shame. P. Diddy is not going to go back to doing what he did before. This I can guarantee you. Why? Because his privacy has been violated. People have been in his home. They have searched his computers. They have found his private photographs, his private videos. They have seen how disgusting he is. And not only that, but they have blasted that information all over social media. So not only do his children know how disgusting he is, not only does his family know that he is really a piece of work, but the entire world watched as we just unraveled this billionaire's lifestyle that doesn't necessarily agree with all of ours. Check this out. Polyamorous behaviors, that has become a thing now. And so, unfortunately, we have lost the sanctity of sexual relationships inside of committed relationships. I hate to tell you this, but a lot of those individuals that was involved in those situations were indeed, they were okay with what they were doing because it's what they wanted. But I will tell you this, that the victims of this, the ones that were flown in to have prostitution, the ones that were paid to order to be in the room, the ones that were taken advantage of, they will get their justice. And their justice is going to come in the form of exposure. I don't think P. Diddy is going to get off scot-free. I mean, let's keep in mind the man has been behind bars for quite some time. He has had to experience what it's like to be locked up for something that he did that doesn't necessarily agree with the normal things that society approves of. But at the end of the day, P. Diddy is just nasty. So we can joke and laugh and have fun and poke fun at this man all day and all night. But I want you to know something, that P. Diddy definitely had to repent during this entire process for the things that he has done. And that, my friends, has far more value than any judgment that a man can place on another human being. When we have to answer to God for our own issues, when we have to stand before a righteous God and confess and repent and say, I'm sorry, trust me when I tell you, that has more power to break a person down than anything that another man can inflict on another human being. While I am grateful for the whole jury systems, juries don't always get it right. Sometimes their own emotions, their own thoughts, their own prejudices gets in the way. Why? Because they are human beings. They're human beings and they are flawed just like everybody else in this world. So we can't be upset about the verdict that has just been returned. As a matter of fact, we probably expected it. We all knew that Diddy was going to get off on these charges only because of the things that was said. But oh my God, when you have people like Sheila E., who is above reproach, standing on the stand and letting Prince speak from the grave about the things that this man has been involved in, trust me, exposure and accountability is justice. Because no longer will that man be able to operate in that level of foolishness. So here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to pay attention to the verdict as it continues to roll out. See what it is that they're going to do with P. Diddy, and then watch his behavior after it's all over. P. Diddy is about to be a new man. You think he's going to be still having freak off parties? Nah, I don't think so. Because he understands that the prosecution is pissed off that they were unable to prove this case and that they were unable to win victory for the victims, the real victims in this case. They mad. And so they will be watching this man and waiting on this man to slip up again. And P. Diddy is no fool. Not only is he no fool, but his staff is no fool. And the people that surround him are no fools. So do not get all up in arms about this verdict. Listen, you should have expected it, to be honest with you. You should have expected it. When P. Diddy was found in the courthouse this morning, sitting at the table, reading a book, waiting on the jury to come in, baby, that was your telltale sign right there what the jury was about to do. The mere fact that the jury came back yesterday and told the judge, listen, we can come together on a couple of the accounts, but we can't call it on all five. The judge sent them back, reminded them that they have a responsibility. Well, listen, them jurors was ready to go home. Do you know how long they have had to sit and come to court and deal with this mess? Do you know how traumatized they are with having to listen to all of the things that was said through this trial? Them jurors was ready to go. So listen, they went on back to that room all right. And whatever the majority was, the holdouts went ahead and got on board because those jurors are ready to go back to their families. So no, guys, it's not the verdict that we would have liked to have seen for an individual that have inflicted as much harm as a Sean P. Diddy Combs. But at the end of the day, exposure brings closure. I know this for a fact. That's what I'm doing with the whole LWBL mission. That's what I'm doing with all of the books, the resources that I am publishing on my own pages. I am bringing exposure. I'm sharing with individuals what true grooming really looks like. I'm helping families recognize it in advance so that they don't get tied up in something that they don't have the ability to prevent or to stop. I'm putting out resources based on my own lived experiences that tell the truth and shame the devil. And yes, I'm doing it because exposure brings closure. This P. Diddy trial is over. And he can never be retried on these charges. But at the end of the day, justice has spoken. Exposure and accountability are still worth its weight in gold. This is LaWanda will be LaWanda always because everybody else is already taken. I will see you on the next video. Bloop. Bye for now.